Alright, what's going on, everybody? I just wanted to get this video out there to let you know that I've been working on the Lightfall campaign, and this is my solo Calus boss fight. I did the whole campaign on Legendary solo, and I decided to use Sunbreaker for the entire thing. Although I actually didn't use Lorelei Splendor until I failed multiple times against Calus. I was using Syntheseps the whole campaign, which was just pretty much easy mode. It's what I used to do the Seraph Shield Legendary Exotic Mission last season, to do the Solo Flawless Triumph, to do it in, well, I didn't get it done in under 30 minutes, but close, 31 minutes. And just in general, Sunbreaker is the easiest class to play on, for at least for Titan, and I'm a Titan main, so if something's new territory and you can expect a challenge, then just go Sunbreaker. It's easy enough that you can create sunspots and heal. You don't even need Lorelei Splendor. Like, if you got Syntheseps and you're just running around bonking everything with your hammer, you're going to create sunspots on the spot. That's going to heal you. You can have a healing grenade for backup, seen as your main workhorse is your hammer anyway. You don't even need a damage grenade. But with that said, you'll see that in this boss fight I switched over to Lorelei Splendor, and that's because I died about 30 times or so. Just trying to figure out this boss fight. It was mainly just this first phase versus Calus and the Tormentors. The Tormentors weren't so much of an issue. It was more figuring out where to stand to be safe, because every now and then, and he doesn't always do it, I don't know why, but Calus will rain down this like rain of solar darkness energy on the platform that you're standing on, and usually you can see it coming and you have time to escape. But when you're about midway through the fight, he'll call down that rain of darkness, and it's like instant. And I don't know why it is like that sometimes, but it's just how it is, and sometimes you just can't escape it, so you die. And I didn't really feel like Syntheseps was doing me much good for the boss fight, because this is like a true boss fight in the sense that it's different than the entire campaign. The entire campaign you can get away with pretty much running around bonking everything with your hammer, but this is a real boss fight. Calus is fairly tanky, and you got Tormentors. You can't get up close and personal with Calus. You just gotta kind of stay at range. So I felt like Lorelei Splendor would be a better play here. That way I can just play behind my rally barricade, get that sunspot on demand, refresh my abilities. I didn't have to use a healing grenade. Seems I've got my Lorelei Splendor barricade sunspot, which means that I can use a solar grenade, and I can use my hammer to get radiant. Normally when I do bonk hammer on Syntheseps, I don't even bother with radiant, because hammer's doing most of the work anyways. But if I'm using Lorelei Splendor, generally I'll throw on radiant, because I'm playing at a distance, and use a damage grenade, and have high strength as well. I think my strength here is tier 9. So I mean, if you can get triple 100s, resilience, discipline, strength, I find that's a good way to build into Lorelei. Fragments I'm using also synergize well with the Lorelei build, so that when I scorch targets I get melee energy, so I can throw my hammer and forget about it, right? So it's a different playstyle than Syntheseps. Syntheseps, like, you kind of start to panic if you lose your hammer, and then you're really struggling if you gotta wait for your hammer cooldown. With Lorelei Splendor, I just go high strength, throw my hammer, forget about it, I get it back basically when I need it. So you'll see, you'll notice that the way I took care of the Tormentors was with using the Wilderflight Blinding Grenade Launcher. It's void, so I'm actually able to break void shields with it as well. But the main reason I went with Wilder Flight was because I wanted to use Osteostriga. Osteostriga is just a really good way to move around, do some damage, and keep moving so that your tick damage, you know, you could use Wither Horde as well. That would also be very good. But I felt like using Osteo and Wilder Flight, and I'm using Cataclysmic here. And actually, for the entire campaign run up to this boss fight, I was using Parasite. But I didn't really feel like it was efficient to try and build up times 20 Worm's Hunger, and then if you miss a grenade, it wasn't working out for the boss fight. And it's not even that good on Tormentors either. So, but the Blinding Grenade Launcher, or Disorienting Grenade Launcher as we call them now, seeing as they changed the name this season, works really good against Tormentors. You can just constantly blind them over and over again. I know you could suspend them with Strand as well, so if you did want to do, you know, use your Strand powers to do the boss fight, you could do that too. But without any, without any fragments or aspects or any build, you know, that's particularly for Strand, it could be kind of hard to build into it like that. Now that I've got Strand unlocked, with, you know, all the fragments I need and everything on Titan, like, I can do a suspend build, and it's pretty darn good. So you could do that against Tormentors, but until you get all that, I suggest just using a Blinding Grenade Launcher. It literally just disables the Tormentors and enables you to take care of them safely, because it'll quickly end your run with how tanky they are. And then for once you get the 2 Tormentors done and you've finished off Calus's first basically phase of health, then he splits his gun in half and turns into this gladiator. And you could just constantly do map rotation if you want. Just turn around, spray him with some Osteo, get some poison damage going. It's really hard to try and proc. I'm using Cataclysmic here, but trying to proc bait and switch in a situation like this where you're constantly on the move, not very efficient. So see, I basically just wear him down slowly with Osteo, and when there's no ads around, you can bait Calus around these posts. Just play Ring Around the Rosie with him. It's actually a fairly safe method. You just got to make sure that there's not ads up at the same time, because they're constantly going to be shooting at you if you just decide to stay in one area baiting Calus. So try and get rid of the ads, and then just play around a post, and then if you're lucky, you can do some heavy precision damage to him. So I think here's where I go for it. I proc bait and switch. And there's also a cheese that you can do. You can actually, prior to this phase, you can go under the stairs and take care of the Tormentors. If you look around on the internet, on YouTube, you can probably find the cheese. I didn't want to do the cheese, but anyway, so there you have it. That's the Calus boss fight, solo on legendary difficulty, and I should have some more videos coming up soon, probably with Strand. I'll probably be doing the weekly mission. There's a lot to do, but anyways, just wanted to put this out there, let you guys know where I'm at, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care.
Hey, do you guys feel that?
No clue what you're talking about. We're almost at the veil. Hang tight.